Email is where your day gets hijacked by subject lines. Every morning, your inbox had asked the same question. Would you like to start your day with someone else's priorities? But now, AI tools, they promise to fix it. I mean, it sounds great, but does it actually work? Can AI actually manage your email? Here's the mistake that most people make. Well, they think that email is communication, and it's not. Email is really a decision queue. Every message, it asks you to make a decision. Do you reply? Do you ignore it? Do you forward it? Or my favorite, just pretend that you never saw it and hope the problem solves itself. And that's why email is exhausting, because you're not reading messages, you're making hundreds of decisions. And so the real question is not, can AI write emails? Because that's an easy yes, AI can write emails. The better question is, how much judgment should AI have in your inbox? Because AI email tools, they don't all do the same job. AI email tools fall into 4 categories. The first one, it's organization. And the second one, summarization. Third, drafting. And fourth, autopilot. So let's look at organization. AI promises to sort the mess. And then with summarization, it explains your mess. With drafting, it helps you answer the mess. And with autopilot, AI handles the mess without you. And all of these tools claim to be AI assistants, but that's a bit like calling a label maker a secretary, and they're just not the same. So let's break down all 4 levels of AI email assistants so that you can decide what works best for you. The safest use of AI is organization. And this is where AI acts like a smart label maker. It looks at your inbox and it says, this is a newsletter, or this is a receipt, and this one needs a reply, and this looks urgent. And this is where AI is really good because it's pattern recognition. Usually AI can tell the difference between a client email and a 40% off mattress sale, which, to be fair, I know a few humans that struggle with that. Yet, organization, it's low risk because AI is not speaking for you. It's not making promises, it's not negotiating, it's not apologizing, it's not sending your clients emails that begin with sentences like, I hope this finds you well. It's just sorting your laundry. A messy inbox, it creates fog. And when you have that fog of your inbox, it's hard for you to know what matters. It's hard for you to know what's late, it's hard to know what you owe people. And so AI, when it sorts your inbox, it can help you clear up the fog. But there's a catch. A clean inbox with a bunch of labels, it can still be a mess. Sure, it'll look more professional, but AI organization, it gets useful when it helps you make your next decision clear. And that's where level 2 comes in, summarization. With summarization, this is where AI starts earning its rent because long email threads are where clarity goes to die, right? You open a thread and there's like 19 replies, 3 forwarded messages, a bunch of attachments, and one person saying see below. And AI can turn all of that pile of useless mess into something that is more signal than noise. This is where summarization is great for long client threads or vendor updates, meeting recaps, legal back and forth, anything where the email chain looks like someone dropped spaghetti into your Gmail. You should use AI summaries to get oriented, but don't use them as the only source of truth when the stakes are high. Like if the thread involves money or conflict, client relationships, something that's emotional, then you should read the key parts yourself instead of having AI tell you where to look. And here's the good news. You're probably already using summaries, or at least you have access to summaries right now in the tools that you're already using. Gemini is in your Gmail inbox with the ability to provide summaries for those long email threads. And if you're an iPhone user, Apple has the summary feature as well, but maybe you shouldn't trust it with your most important details. Okay, so level 3 with email assistance is drafting. And this is probably the most obvious use case where you start to really get benefit from AI. But it's also where AI can get a little weird. Because yes, AI can draft emails for you, but left alone, it might sound like that nerdy assistant principal trying to explain the dress code. It's like, I hope this message finds you well, and I wanted to circle back regarding the aforementioned matters and exploring potential next steps. Drafting can be powerful if you use it correctly. Like, it's really great for helping you get unstuck. It can help you say no without sounding like a jerk, or it can help you follow up without being needy. It can shorten your long responses, and it can remove heat from the emotional emails. With AI drafts, it removes the blank page. It gives you something to start with. The key though is that you add the judgment. You add the context and remove some of that AI weirdness. You can make sure that your emails sound like a person with a spine instead of a robot with legal jargon. So let's see what it looks like in action. Here are a few options for how you can tackle this. There's on-demand drafting, and then there's proactive drafting. And the lowest tech and native solution is to use Gemini built into Gmail. It's not a fully automated solution, but it does at least help you minimize the cognitive load. And so that's going to require you to manually click to generate the draft. But there are more automated draft solutions. These are tools like Fixer, or you can use agentic solutions like Clawbot or Claude Desktop, or you could even use Zapier to create an automation to where anytime you get an email in your Gmail inbox that it requires a personal response, the AI will auto draft a reply in your Gmail. There are multiple speeds. Think of it those two ways. You either click the manual draft or you have them auto drafted for every single one of your emails. And there are a couple ways to tackle that problem. And so level 4 for AI assistance in your inbox, it's full autopilot. But here's my caveat. We're a Tesla household. Like my wife and I, we each pay the $99 a month for full self-driving. And I'm the guy who picks Waymo over the chatty Uber driver. I trust my life and my family's life with robot cars, but I don't trust robots with full pilot email. Okay, listen, I understand that makes no damn sense, but don't judge me, okay? Every email that you send, it's potentially a legal record. So Autopilot is perfect for productivity, but your real estate license, it's not determined by your productivity. It's determined by your ability to remain legally compliant. So the challenge with full Autopilot is a judgment question. The more emotional, financial, or legal, the less rope you give AI to hang you with. Because just imagine, an AI agent auto replies to a buyer's agent about your client's bottom line because it thought that the email was just routine. Good luck with that. You'll love writing checks for mistakes that the robots made. AI, it's excellent at parts of email management that are like mechanical, like sorting, summarizing, first drafts, things that are high volume, low variance that take little time. For AI, it's genuinely better and faster than you are. But after investing thousands of dollars testing countless AI email tools, here's what I actually use today. It's not perfect, by the way. It's not the only solution. It's just what works for me. I use a lot of filters. Like I prefer filters over unsubscribing because I might want to read that newsletter, but I don't want to have to open it. And then I use Boomerang to manage emails that require follow-up. I use Google's Workspace Studios to alert me when an email contains an action item and to also include a summary. And then I use Zapier to notify me when I receive an email from an important person, like say Gary Keller. So for me, I use filters as a fence, Boomerang as a safety net, and Zapier as like the red phone VIP line. Is that the best system for you? Maybe. But before you implement AI into your inbox, the practical question is, what should you start with? My recommendation is to start with one category. And if your inbox is chaotic, start with organization. Use a tool like SaneBox or Google Workspace, or maybe just do like me and set up some filters. This at least buys you some more headspace more than anything else. If reply paralysis is your thing, start drafting with AI. You can use things like Google's suggested replies, or you can use Superhuman, or you can have Zapier create drafts every time you get an email. So let me leave you with this mental model. How do you decide what AI should handle? Well, use this simple trust test. Before you let AI touch an email, ask yourself these 4 questions. What happens if this is wrong? If the answer is nothing, well then automate it. If the answer is a client gets mad, money changes hands, or trust is lost, well, slow down and come up with a different solution. The second question is this pattern matching or does it require judgment? Sorting newsletters is pattern matching, but responding to frustrated clients requires judgment. The third question is, would you be comfortable if the recipient knew that AI was handling it? That question gets real fast. If the answer is no, then maybe AI should only draft it, but not send emails on your behalf. And then the last question to ask yourself is, can you review it before it leaves your inbox? And that's the one that matters most, because AI helping you is one thing, but AI impersonating you is another. And the better these tools get, the more tempting it becomes to skip review. So can AI manage your email? Yes, but you've got to define what manage means to you. AI can organize the mess, it can summarize long threads, and it can draft replies. It can even handle some low-risk tasks on autopilot. But the closer it gets to judgment, emotion, and money, the more careful you need to be.